Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to cover two things for Ark Nova. I almost said Lost Ruins of Arnak there. I am going to talk about one of the fan-made solo variants for the game called ARNO. ARNO stands for Artificial Randomized Neutral Opponent. These files and everything you're going to see here can be found on BGG, free download, print and play, all that type of good stuff. And it simulates a real player, someone who's actually going to make their way around the two tracks, trigger the end game in that direction. So if you don't like to play with the timer, then this is a great one to pick up and try. Everything is kind of crunched in here simply because this is such a table hog of a game. Adding Arno to that mix does mean you have to have two player boards, but you only really need this right side of a map A board for Arno, plus the underneath. You need to be able to know where he has his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So, before we get into that, the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is the maps that are part of Map Pack 1. So these are finally starting to come back out, and you're seeing them in like friendly local game stores and whatnot. So this is a two-sided maps. So if you are wanting to play like a 4-player game, you don't need to pick up 2 map packs, so everybody could have a new one. But if all you wanted to do is give everybody a different map and 2 people have a new one, you can just pick up one. So they're double-sided the same way. So here you can see that here's map 9, map 10, map 10, map 9's on the backside. So I'm just going to briefly cover what these new maps do, how they interact, and then we will continue with our Arno discussion. So this is, actually, let's start with map 9. That makes more sense. So on the backside of this one is map 9. This one is called the Geographical Zoo. So what you're attempting to do here is play animals that match the continental icon of these pre-marked out areas in your zoo. So I don't know where you guys live, but our zoo personally here in North Carolina has, the areas of the zoo are like continents. There is, the Asia and the Africa and things like that. So this makes a lot of sense. You don't have to play, say, an Australian animal in the red zone. And if, your one of your enclosures crosses over into another one, that's perfectly fine too. But if you can, say, play an African animal into where any part of your enclosure is touching in the yellow area here, you're going to precede this board with these cubes here at the beginning of the game. And when you play an African animal into the yellow zone, you get to pick up that cube and then activate one of these bonuses at the bottom here. So you can gain a reputation, you can gain 4 money, you can move any card you want to the 1 slot, you can gain 2 appeal, or you can add a kiosk or pavilion to your park for free. Once you have removed that cube, you can't activate that country again. So once you place an African animal, if you place another African animal within this yellow area, nothing happens. If you can successfully pick up all 5 cubes, you gain an additional 1 conservation point as like an extra bonus. You'll notice that some of the rewards, like for pulling off associate workers, claiming them, some of these are different. But that's it. And obviously the layout is slightly different here. So that is Geographical Zoo. You're trying to place, spread out your continent icons, have one of each type, so on and so forth. On the backside here, which is the one we'll be playing with, I'm not going to be doing a full playthrough. This video is more about showing off Arno here, but this is the rescue station. So this side of the map is all about, there is a animal trait called digging, where you can actually discard cards from the row to reveal new ones, or discard cards from your hand to draw cards from the deck. That takes this and says, okay, if you place on one of these 3 locations here, they're saying you get the digging 1 action. And that means you can discard a card from your hand or discard a card from this row up here. And if you do, you rescue that animal just for this map, just for map 10. And you get to place it up above here, which means you get the icons that are part of your zoo. So you could count this animal like this would be a small animal. I would be able to count this as an animal near water, or possibly maybe, I don't know if there's any for animals in the reptile house, but this would count as one reptile and this would count as one European animal. So it's almost a free way to get these icons into your zoo. Now, you don't get appeal points because nobody sees them. You know, they're back behind the scenes in some kind of veterinary lab or something like that. So they're part of your zoo. You're getting credit for them, but you didn't have to pay for them, and you don't get appeal for them. You also don't get, if there was text here, for example, here are rock monitor, you wouldn't get to activate sunbathing. So that's the rescue station. Again, these are the two maps. There's two of each map in the map 1 pack. It's a lot of maps. So that's how they are played. Okay, let's talk about Arno here. So Arno, what you're going to get is several ways you can print off the rules, and he's constantly updating them. So make sure you print off all versions of the rules, at least the most recent one, which is like a errata, and then, you know, a base set of rules. But he also has these cards, which not only does he have these 5, but he also has a few additional cards that you can then upgrade. I believe it's the build card and the animals card. Or maybe it's these other 3. Maybe it's the association and sponsor. Anyways, you can play anywhere from level 1 to level 6. Level 1 being the easiest, level 6 being the hardest. So you can change the difficulty of Arno simply by swapping out, say, your animal card. But these look just like mine. They're a little smaller. Maybe that's just how I printed them. But I went ahead and, you know, glued the 2 sides together, sleeved them up, and it works. Feels very professional to me. So what you're going to do when it's Arno's turn is essentially be rolling a die. They give you some leeway in what type of die you use. It seems to be that a D12 is the best option for this one reason, that you always ignore the 1. You're never going to Arno's never going to choose to take the 1 action. And frankly, most people do as well. But rolling a D12 says, all right, on a 1, 2, or 3, you're taking the 2. On a 3, 4, or 5, you're taking the 3. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12. Yeah. I thought, no, okay, so yeah. There's another die, I think, or maybe I saw somewhere there's a way to make the number 5 get 1 extra thing, but that would not be on a D12. Anyways, you're going to roll a D12, you're going to take that action. There's some various symbology here. Arno does get to break certain rules. We'll talk about those when we see them. But otherwise, you're just collecting cards. You're not placing tiles out on the zoo. You're collecting cards. They're not scoring for appeal on those cards. Really, the only reason Arno collects cards is to possibly trigger some of the stuff in your zoo. So there's lots of cards that says anytime a zoo gains like a primate icon, you get 3 money. So if he were to pick up a card randomly that had a primate icon, you would benefit from that. Otherwise, he's just kind of got his established stack here of cards. He also has some conservation cards that he can play if that action comes up. He does not deal in sponsor cards. So when I dealt him his 8 cards at the beginning, the first thing I did was get rid of all the sponsor cards. I just went ahead and discarded them. Then I took all of the conservation cards possible, which there was only 2, and so then I randomly took 2 of the remaining 4 cards, which were all animal cards at this point, and these are his 2. Again, the types, the size, the appeal points, none of that matters for Arno. He also has 1 random dealt face down end of game scoring card here. This is merely just to keep me from getting it. I dealt my 2 and then I dealt him 1. But we're going to be placing cubes on this card that he will then score end game points off of. Think of Wingspan, how the end of round activation works for Wingspan, where it'll just put cubes on that end of round scoring board, and then at the end of the round it says, okay, I have 3 large animals in my zoo, so he would score, that many points. That's really all this is here for. It's just a placeholder. But What's really nice about this is that once you learn the symbology of Arno and what the symbols mean on his card, and if you're familiar with the game, you can pretty much pick up on his symbology pretty quick. His turns go really fast, just like your turns should. And again, you're not playing against a set timer, so it's not just play to 20 rounds and see how high of a score you can get. You're actually going to be competing with him, racing down the conservation track. I'm just realizing here that I have not populated these tiles and things like that. I'll do that here in a sec. But so there's an undetermined number of rounds, which is really nice as part of the multiplayer game. You don't quite know how much more time you have. Also, he could randomly come in and steal the university you're looking for, and you'll have to wait until the next round, so on and so forth. So, or he may swoop in and steal the spot that on a conservation card that you were hoping for. Now, I'm going to play a few rounds here simply to show off Arno. I do have a how to play video for Ark Nova that you can look up on my channel if you want to see more of a how to play video on that. I will kind of talk through what I'm doing over here if you are completely new to the game, but this is meant to more show off a new way to play solo for those who are Ark Nova fans. So let me finish setting up the board here and we'll come right back and show off Arno. Okay, so during setup, you set yourself up as the first player. Arno, you set up as the second player. You will notice here there's 3 cubes over here. Arno actually starts, the most recent errata to the rules is that Arno starts with -3 conservation points. He does gain conservation points rather quickly. It's rather easy for him to gain conservation points, especially early on. So I think this is a way to mitigate him racing through here and scooping up tokens before you can even have a chance to bother doing any of this stuff. So that is that. Otherwise, he starts here already at 1 peel point. I start at 0, and I'm going to take the first turn. So if you're not familiar with Ark Nova, there's this system of 5 action cards that, depending on what lane it's in when you decide to take that action, and each turn you get to pick 1 card, take that action's card, is the power. So I'm going to go ahead and take the cards action here. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is break 2, which is move this coffee mug towards the break. And then I can draw cards from the deck or snap. There's nothing out here that really fits with what I'm looking for right now. So I am going to, since it's a strength 5, draw 3 cards and I'll have to discard 1. So draw 3 cards, 1, 2, 3. And let's see here. Release 1 reptile into the wild. I'm actually going to keep this one because I have 2 reptiles already in my hand. I think I'm just going to end up being a reptile zoo. I've got quite a lot of reptiles in my hand, so I'm going to kind of stick with that theme here. Hopefully get the reptile house out quickly. This now shifts all the way down to the beginning, and everything else bumps up by 1 power. So now my association action is more powerful as a 5. Now we are on to Arno's turn. So basically, you're always just going to roll in my case, a d12. You can use a d6 if you don't have a d12, and it's an 11. So he is targeting his 5th card here. So we look on his card, and it says he's going to gain 1 reputation right off the bat. No problem. Boom. Okay, then he is going to place a cube onto his end of game scoring card. So that's like him already having taken 1 step towards scoring additional conservation points at the end of the game. Then the last thing is he's going to break for the amount of strength that the card was at. Now, if he already had 6 cubes on this card, which is the maximum, he would have gained 2 conservation points, but he doesn't. And 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whew. Man, that would have been super fast to the break. He pushes all of his cards down, and that's it. That's his turn. See, he is ahead of me on the reputation track, but other than that, we're all just hunky-dory here. So, back to me. I am thinking that I kind of like having all of these cards in my hand. I don't really want to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to have to get rid of 1 of them unless I can play quickly. So I will go ahead and play the association action. Take my one person here. I'm going to come here and claim this university, which ups my hand size to 5, and I get 1 reputation. So I'm catching up to him. All right, and that see, I could have gone ahead and done a conservation project, but I don't have any icons, so I technically lost one thing from that by taking a 4 strength action with my association token when this was at a 5 strength, but that's okay. What I'm looking for is this to be up here, and yeah, you'll see what my strategy is here in a second if he gives me time to do it. So back to Arno. Arno 1, 2, 3. So he is taking his association action. Arno places if available. So he is limited to how many people he's got, just like I am. And if he, depending on where he was, he's a strength 3, so he's going to go here, and he's also going to take a. Let's see, this. I think these are backwards actually. Now that I'm looking at this, this should be. He was at a 3. This should be that. I'm actually gonna have to look at this because normally this is a strength 3 and this is a strength 4. So I'm gonna put him here. All right, and he's gonna get a partner zoo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 will reroll. All right, reroll. And reroll again. Man, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He takes this one. It really doesn't matter to him which ones he takes. If for some reason I was still possibly going out there, I really should have just grabbed one. But that's that. Again, look to the pin. Look for a pinned comment to see whether or not these 2 symbols should be flipped or not. I can't believe I never picked up on that before. Anyways, so there's his action, and back to me. So I am gonna take the build action. I want to get a rock monitor out soon. It's gonna be a while before I can get my reptile house. So I'm gonna take the build action at spot 4. Unfortunately, I am, kind of overpaying for this because I only need a 2 spot. So the question is, I could build a 4 spot, size 4 building right now. And I may actually do that. I can always pull my rock monitor out once I have my reptile house. So I think that is what I'm going to do. The reptile I'm wanting to place only takes a 2 size, but I can put him in a bigger location, a bigger enclosure than he needs. So the first time you place anything, you can place it anywhere. I think it has to start on the edge of the map, if I remember correctly, which I almost always do. So you can start at any edge. I don't want to place it on one of these yet because I don't have a really good card to place for free yet. And I want this X token. So I'm going to place this right here. I also want to be next to rock. So there's my size 4 enclosure. It's going to cost me 8 coins to do so. Yes, I'm using scythe money for those of you familiar with what you're seeing here. The money tokens, these things in the game, this was like my biggest gripe about the game when I reviewed it when it came out. They really need to come up with better money. Anyways, so I use scythe money. Much more interesting to deal with. Okay, and that was my turn. Yep. So back over here to Arno. Please don't break yet. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he is taking the animal action. So this is the primary way he gains appeal points, is by simply playing his animal card, which for me would be putting an animal into my zoo and gaining appeal points. He's just going to gain appeal points. And I decided that I'm going to play, I meant to mention this earlier, I'm going to play him at a level 3. Okay? So here at a level 3, he gains appeal points equal to the strength of his card, which is 3 plus 1. All right? And remember, there's 6 levels, so this is kind of in the middle. So he's going to gain 4 appeal points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, right off the bat. He is rushing ahead of me. That's fine. He did not break yet. That's what I didn't want him to do. That way I have time to play this card. What card did I want? Oh no. It's not quite what I wanted to do. Oh, I want all my cards. Hold on. Hold everything. Do I think I can last one more turn without him breaking, taking the break action on me? This is a 3. Ooh, and I forgot I got my X token here. That's right. Get your X token here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take the sponsor action. I'm going to wait on my animal, even though I could use the appeal points to get more than $5. But I am going to spend this at a strength of 5, plus my X token, which allows me to increase that to a strength of 6, to play not that one, but this one, the Barred Owl Hut. So I'm going to move that down. This is now in my zoo. I know this is off camera, but again, there's no place to put anything. And I have to find a Barred Owl Hut. Okay, it looks like this one right here. So this is a unique one, but I get to now place it. I cannot place it here because I have not upgraded my level 2. I don't want to place it here because I'm not ready to discard yet. This is tricky. It can't fit there because it would sit on a thing. I could put it there, actually. I'm okay with that because I've got a little one guy I want to put right here next to water. So I'm going to do that. That may bite me in the butt in the future, but that's going to get me my X token back. And that is there now. So what this gets me in the future is that anytime I play a bird icon, so I'm going to be looking for those reptiles and birds. That's going to be my zoo this time. I get to draw 2 cards from the deck and keep 1, discarding the other. So again, it's good that I have a hand limit of 5. All right. What are you going to do here? 2, which is going to be this one. So he is taking another association action, which he cannot do because he does not have a worker. So in this case, he is going to get 2 conservation points. So I'm going to remove 2 cubes instead of him gaining 1. He's going to break for 2, which does that. And so in his play testing, he decided that the ARNO does not gain the partner zoos or the universities at a fast enough rate, which I have to kind of agree with him. So he added this onto the bottom of his card here that says, in addition to not being able to place association worker, he's going to gain one of these. Seems a little overpowered to me, but that's fine. So 1 through 6 here, 6 through 12 there. So he's taking one of these. Again, this does not matter. Does not matter to him and does not matter to me. I've already taken this action. I'm not going to be doing it again. And so, yeah, there we go. But last but not least, and this is a great time to show off the break because he does do something during the break. So he broke. He doesn't collect X tokens, so that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and move this back. I know this is out of order. I have to discard down to 5, which I'm at exactly 5. He doesn't have to discard anything. We will replenish this. I'll do this off camera. We will, pop these up. So let's do this first because he is going to get some cards during the break. So he's going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Now that we've moved this, and he's going to take conservation and an animal card. I'm looking at the bird, if available. So this is a sponsor one. Doesn't deal in sponsor cards. This is a conservation one, so he's going to take that. And if this is an animal one, he's going to take that one. Yep. None of this matters. So there we go. We can make that stack nice and pretty. And he is now done with the break. He does not deal in money, so he doesn't care where he is on the appeal track. I do deal in money. I am only gaining 5 for this. I get my association worker back. He gets his association worker back. And again, I'll replenish this here in just a second. But that is the break. So let's play a few more rounds, and then we'll talk about how he would end game score at the end. So that was his turn. So it's back to me. So I've got my animal card up here in 5, which allows me to play 2 animal cards if I had the money. If I had the money, honey. So 9 and 9 would be 18. All right. Pay no attention to my strategy over here. This may or may not be a good strategy at all. But let's see here. I'm going to take the building action at a 2, which is fine because I just want to build a little single one right here. So it's going to cost me 2 money. All right, over to Arno. I'm playing a little quicker now. That would be this one. So here he's going to gain a conservation point. I'm going to remove this last cube of his. He's going to gain a card from anywhere. So he doesn't care about his reputation. This is one of those things that, you know, the AI sometimes cheats about. So you just pick a random one. 10, 11 would be this bird one, which I had my eye on, unfortunately. And so there you go. He gets that. These will push down like so. Ooh, I am going for small animals. And he breaks for 1. It doesn't matter that this was up here at level 5. It's just a break for 1. Now at a level 3, last but not least, he's going to gain 1, 2 appeal points. All right, back to me. What do we want to do here? I think, yep, I'm going to go ahead and take the association action. Yep, at a 3, because that's all I need it for. I'm trying to maximize my actions here. Take my one guy, put him here, and I am going to take Africa. So now technically for the rest of the game, I don't even need an Africa thing there. All right, what's Arno doing? 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So sponsor action, he's going to gain 1 reputation, put 1 cube, whoops, here, and break for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. So you can see once you've kind of figured out what each of his cards do, he moves very quickly, just as quickly as you. So we're back to me again. All right, I do want to grab some cards first. So at a... do I want to do this? Yes. I'm actually going to spend my X token to make this a 5. So I get to draw 3 cards again, and I'll have to discard 1. Do I really want to do that? Because most likely, actually no. I'm deciding I'm not playing. I'm retconning that. I'm just going to take 2 cards off the deck here. And both of these are fine. So, yes. All right. Back to Arnie here. Arnie. So that's this one. He gains 3 for appeal points. He keeps activating his animal card at the 3 spot. I need to get some appeal now before we have another break, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I am going to play my animal card with a strength of 5, so I get to play 2 cards from my hand. We are going to play Rock Monitor here for 9. He's next to mountains. And yeah, I'm getting my discount. There we go. So on and so forth. Now, I may sell up to 3 cards from my hand. Let me give me my 5 points here before I forget. For 4 each. And so I am literally going to go for the 2 I just picked up. I think. Yeah, that's fine. So there's 8 more. I love the fact that Scythe Coins comes with a 3. So beautiful. All right, so that was 1. Now I have plenty of money, not that I was too concerned about it before, to play my European Turtle here for a solid 9. So I should have done this before, but both of these get flipped over there. They're now both in use. And he's getting me another 4. And that's it. He doesn't give me anything special. But I have 2 lizard icons in my zoo now. Not too bad. So yeah. All right. Back to Arno here. Again, we're going to play to the break, next break. 9 is the association at a strength of 4. Again, I'm going to play where it makes sense to me. So he's going to go here, and I've already played, so I don't see myself. But now he does gain these bonuses. So he is playing this to cover up a card. Flip over a card. He's covering this up to flip over a card. He's upgrading one of his action cards, which, the backside is better. And as of right now, he doesn't care. All of them are available, obviously. So we're going to say, 1, 2, 3, 4, do all that. 11, 12, we'll roll again. 1, 2. So he is upgrading his association card. There we go. And that's as simple as that. Now all this means is that he will also donate. Again, he doesn't deal in money, so he will just simply start taking up these spaces very early on. Okay, back to me. Oops, I forgot to move this card. All right, there's a sponsor card here that I am saving that for, but I need to get one more reputation level. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take the build action at level 4. Again, I only need a size 2, but I'm going to go ahead and build. Let's build a 3. So I can fit it right in here, like so. I feel like that's a good placement there. Okay. What is Arno doing? Arno is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is taking the sponsor action at level 3. So he is gaining a reputation. He is putting a cube up here, and then he's breaking for 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, so close. But not quite. All right. Next, I'm going to play the animals card, which now that it's in slot 2, I can actually play an animal, and there's really no difference between level 2 and 5 on this side of the card. So I'm going to play my Western Green Mamba here. It's going to cost me just 10 because I have the partner African Zoo. And I've got these from my rock monitor that I already played earlier in the game. So he's going to cost me 10. Here's my 10 right here. And if you choose to play multiplayer where you can play kind of take that element of the game, Venom, you would, put Venom on another player. But you can play the less, gotcha way, and which is also the solo way, where he is inventive and I gain 2x tokens for playing said snake. All right. And he's going to give me 6 points. There we go. All right. And this swaps. All right, what's Arno doing? Okay, 6 is animals card. So he, again, it's like every time the animal card makes it into the 3 spot, he is going to play it. There we go. Okay, so I have finally set myself up here for being able to play my next card here. So, no. I already used my guy. I need a guy. I can't play this without a guy. Oh, foiled again. Do I break? No, because I want my sponsor card right here. I think I break for 2 right here so I can get my guy back. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm well within my hand limit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break for 2. Or do the cards action at level 3, which is a break for 2, so I get another X token. And then I can draw 2 cards and choose 1. I don't want either of those, so. And it's another lizard, so I'm going to take the lizard and discard that. Even though it's a bird, it's just a petting zoo bird, so it's not count as having the bird icon. Alright. Actually, I thought about snapping that one up, but I think it should be there for a while. Okay, so I took my X token. Let's put that back well beneath the hand limit. We both have Africa, so I don't need to worry about that. We both have this one, so I'm not going to worry about that. Give me my guy back. I am getting 15 coins, 15 money, and oh, these two cards go away. These all slide down. And then last but not least, he draws 3 cards, and he's going to keeps that one, and that's it. Okay. All right. It's back to him. It's his turn. He is taking the build action at level 5. So at level 5, he actually isn't building anything. He is just getting 3 conservation points. So he's finally moving off the end here. 1, 2, 3. And in this situation, he always takes the gain associate choice. So there we go. He's got 2 associates. And these all push. Okay. Now I can finally do what it is I want to do. So I'm going to go here, which I have to spend a token because it's coming out of the 4 spot, but I'm taking a 5 strength to play this card right here. I'm going to slide it into the board so it fits, and I am just giving up a small reptile. So I think we're going to give up. No, I want that symbol, so I'm going to give up my rock monitor now that I've used his tags. We're good, so I'm releasing him back into the wild. This is going to give me, by placing this one here, my second associate. It's going to give me 3 conservation points. 1, 2, 3, so I'm catching right up. And I'm going to choose the flip over a card action, which, what do I want to do with that? Is it the build one? Is it the associate one? That one can wait. Or the animal one. I think it's going to be the build one, so I can start building around here. Alright, so there's my card flip. And I believe my turn is over. Yes. Oh, nope. This was part of the important thing, was gaining that. There we go. All right. And I just realized that we entered the break again, and I said we were going to stop playing after the break. So that is what we will do. My next play was going to be to finally get this sponsor card out here that allows me to double up on my animal cards as long as I play only small animals. So I'm going to be targeting this card right here. I'm going to be not worrying about upgrading my animals card because I can play 2 at a time pretty easily. And yeah, so that's kind of the direction I'm headed, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the game, no matter who crosses paths first, we will count up end game scoring just like normal. So my end game scoring card that I will have chosen by then takes it into effect, and any other end game scoring conditions I might have under my belt, he is going to take the number of cubes on this card here and subtract 2. So if he has the max of 6, he's going to get 4 conservation points. That's the most he can gain from this. But there are other symbols as he flips over these cards. I believe it's the sponsor card. Yes, the sponsor card begins putting cubes onto his notebook here, and this is a pure single conservation point, and that's the big green ones, mind you. So if he passes, or if he isn't the one to pass, if you are the one to pass but he's close behind you, there is a way for him to make a decent catch-up mechanic right there at the very end of the game after the game has been called. So the few times I've played him on like the lower levels, level 1, but even then it seems like I beat him by a lot, but when he adjusted in his endgame scoring, he caught up by a lot. But anyways, that is Arno. Again, I'll put a link in the description below for all of the files on BGG. It's a free to download, print and play solo variant of the game that works so well. I would not be surprised if this ends up in the box in some kind of future expansion as a official solo variant of the game, because it works really well. It gives you that feeling of playing against someone. It's not too much overhead. Again, once you learn the actions, Arno's turns go very quickly. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you're enjoying this content, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.